Hey everyone, do you live in Kelowna, British Columbia and you're looking to make some extra income, or you have a secondary property that you want to rent out? Well, then this video is going to give you all the information you need to start a short-term Airbnb style rental. Let's take a look. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Brett B. Real Estate. I, of course, am Brett Baholi. Where, like I said at the top of the video, today we're going to be taking a look at what it takes to start a short-term Airbnb rental in Kelowna, British Columbia. But before we get started, as always, if you're enjoying the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified as soon as I post my next video. So how do you start a short-term Airbnb in Kelowna, BC? Well, Kelowna is pretty strict on its rules and regulations and the bylaws regarding running short-term rentals. So I'm going to walk you through each step from the process and how to get started, then how to get your place active and marketed, to the fees associated with running an Airbnb, and lastly, how to become a superhost. So let's get started. And that first step is going to be what it takes to get started and the rules and regulations. So one of the first things you're going to do when running a short-term rental is know that you're going to have to apply for an annual business license. And in Kelowna, for a principal residence, that business license is going to cost $345 annually. And if it's a non-principal residence, that's going to run you about $750 annually. Short-term rental operators are going to have to update that and make sure in the new year that all their documentation is up to date. In Kelowna, you can apply for that business license online, or you can go to the application center, which is at the second floor of City Hall. In addition to applying for a business license, you're going to have to check what the zoning regulations are for your property. Not all areas in Kelowna are zoned to allow short-term rentals, so the number one thing you want to do is check what the zoning regulations are in your area of your property that you plan to rent out and see if it's even possible to do so. For example, some areas may have restrictions on short-term rentals, where some areas might have absolutely no restrictions at all. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you a link down below to the Kelowna City website, where it's going to give you an in-depth overview of everything you need to know about running a short-term rental, and it's also going to give you a list of the zoning designations that allow for short-term rentals. I'm also going to give you a link to the Kelowna City Map Viewer, where you can go in, enter your address, run a property report, and check what the specific zoning designation is on your address. And it doesn't just stop there. You're going to have to complete the following forms, including a short-term rental business license application form, self-evaluation fire and safety form, good neighbor agreement form, and strata consent form, if applicable. Submit a parking plan that meets the parking requirements within the zoning bylaw for short-term rentals in your zone. Prepare a fire and safety evacuation plan, identifying the location of smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, fire extinguishers, fire exits, and sleeping units, and tenants applying are required to provide the owner consent form. By understanding and complying with these rules and regulations, you can run a successful and legal short-term rental in Kelowna. Again, please check the link down below for a full rundown on the eligibility and requirements needed to get started. It's important to do your research, ensure that you're following all the necessary requirements in order to avoid any fines or legal issues. Operators of short-term rentals may face fines of up to $500 a day per offense, and significantly higher amounts if efforts require escalation. All right, now the second step, getting active and getting exposure. Now that you've obtained your business license and you've followed all the required regulations and rules, it's time to get your Airbnb listing up and running. The first step is to create an account with Airbnb and provide all the information about your rental. This should include a detailed description about your unit as well as high quality photos. Again, please don't ever skip on photo quality when it comes to advertising something, especially about your own property. It's also important to provide honest and accurate information to avoid disappointing guests. When it comes to pricing your rental unit, it's important to do your own research and compare the pricing to similar units in your area. Offering competitive pricing and attractive amenities can make your listing more appealing to potential guests. Some popular amenities to consider is free Wi-Fi, cable TV, a fully equipped kitchen, and toiletries. Once you've set your pricing amenities, it's time to think about how you're going to handle check-in and check-out for your guests. Providing clear instructions on how to access your rental unit is key, and there are several ways to do so. One option is to use a lockbox, which allows guests to check themselves in and out at their own convenience. And another example is a keyless entry system, which provides additional security and convenience for you and your guests. It's important to keep in mind that communication is key when it comes to running a successful Airbnb. You should respond to guest inquiries and messages promptly and be available to address any questions or concerns they have during their stay. If you have a property manager running your rental, make sure you go with a reputable source that has a high history of customer satisfaction. Just know that if you do choose this route, it could cost up to 30% of your income. Another great idea is to provide a welcome package for guests. This package can contain a bunch of useful information about the rental unit, as well as local recommendations to make the guest feel more at home. Please, for the love of God, stock your rental unit with common essentials. This means a full load of kitchen supplies, pots, pans, dishes, utensils, ice, condiments, spices. There's nothing worse than getting to an Airbnb, buying a bunch of food to cook with, and realize there's nothing to do the cooking. And also, please make sure you stock your unit with cleaning supplies. I don't know how many times I've been to an Airbnb where there's absolutely no cleaning supplies. If you want your rental unit to stay in the best condition, at least supply the guests with the materials to do so. There's not going to be any cleaning up after themselves if there's nothing to do the cleaning with. Now, once your Airbnb is live, it's important to start marketing to potential guests. One of the best ways to do this is start leveraging social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram to promote your Airbnb. You can use eye-catching videos and posts to capture your rental's best features, as well as using relevant hashtags to appeal to a wider audience. You can also start running paid targeted ads on these platforms to reach a wider audience. Offering special promotions and discounts to first-time guests is another great way to market your property. This could include offering discounts to guests who stay for a certain number of nights, or offering a free night stay for guests who refer their friends or leave positive reviews. These type of promotions can incentivize potential guests to book with you and also encourage repeat business from satisfied customers. In addition to these strategies, it's also important that your Airbnb listing is accurate and up to date, as well as you're responding to guest inquiries and reviews promptly. Providing excellent customer service and going above and beyond for guests to make sure that they have a comfortable stay is going to build you a strong reputation and create more bookings over time. Now, let's move on to part 3, the fees associated with running an Airbnb. Alright, so here are the main fees you need to be aware of. An Airbnb service fee. Airbnb charges a service fee to host for every booking made through the platform. The fee ranges from 14 to 16% of the booking subtotal and varies depending on the type of reservation, the length of stay, and the total cost of the booking. A cleaning fee. As a host, you have the option to charge a cleaning fee to cover the cost of cleaning for your rental unit after each guest stay. The fee is set by the host in addition to the nightly rate. Just as a side, be a good host and don't charge an exorbitant cleaning fee and then have a gigantic list of cleaning instructions for the guests on how to leave the place clean. That's what they paid you for, and it's one or the other in my opinion. Next is the occupancy tax. In some areas, Airbnb collects and remits occupancy taxes on behalf of the host. This tax is based on a percentage of the total reservation cost and varies depending on the location. The payment processing fee. If you receive payments through Airbnb, you may be subject to a payment processing fee. This is a fee deducted from your payout and varies depending on the payment method used. Now, just as a side, when you go to sell your property and your property for the majority has been used in an income generating property, it may be subject to GST upon sale. Now, who pays for the GST, whether it's a seller or the buyer, depends on the offer itself. But make sure before you go to list said property that you speak with a lawyer and accountant just to get clarification on this, so there's no surprises when it comes time to closing. So just remember, it's important to factor in these fees when you're choosing a nightly rate and calculating how much you're going to earn from this potential short-term rental. By understanding the fees associated with this platform, you can ensure you're pricing this rental unit appropriately and maximizing your profits. Now, the last thing I'm going to go over is how to become a superhost and why do you want to be a superhost in the first place. So when you run an Airbnb, one of your main goals should be to become a superhost. This is a certain designation given to hosts that meet criteria set by Airbnb and who go above and beyond for their guests and provide continuous exceptional service. So here are some tips on how to become a superhost. Number 1, maintain a high response rate. Responding quickly to guest inquiries and booking requests is key to being a successful Airbnb host. To become a superhost, you need to maintain a response rate of at least 90% over the past 365 days. Number 2, keep a high rating. Your overall rating is also important for achieving superhost status. You need to maintain a rating of at least 4.8 out of 5 stars to qualify. Number 3, host frequently. Airbnb superhosts are also required to host guests for at least 10 trips or 100 nights in a year. And number 4, follow Airbnb's hosting standards. As a superhost, you're expected to adhere to Airbnb's hosting standards, which include providing clean and comfortable accommodations, accurately representing your listing, and following all applicable laws and regulations. So now you know how to become a superhost, but why would you want to be one? And obviously there's numerous benefits, but here's a few examples of why you might want to put in the work, be diligent, and become a superhost. Number 1, increase visibility. Superhosts are featured more prominently on Airbnb's website and are often recommended to potential guests, which can lead to more bookings. 2, like I said, more bookings. Guests are more likely to book with superhosts because they know they can expect a high level of hospitality and service. 3, more earnings. Superhosts can charge higher prices for the listings, which can result in higher earnings. And 4, exclusive perks. Superhosts have access to exclusive benefits such as discounts on photography and design services, priority customer service, and invitations to special events. So there you have it, a step-by-step process on how to run a successful short-term rental business in Kelowna, British Columbia. Follow the rules and regulations to avoid any legal issues or fines, put in the work to get your listing activated and properly marketed, understand the fees associated with running an Airbnb, and do the work to become a superhost, providing you with the highest chance of success. That wraps up my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you or anybody you know is looking to buy in the central Okanagan, I'd be more than happy to help them out. And I am never too busy for your referrals. My goal, as always, is to simplify the real estate process so you don't have to worry about anything. Contact me. All my information is listed down below. And my number is right on the screen here, 250-718-3314. You can call me, text me, email me anytime. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And I'll make sure to respond to you as quickly as possible. As always, my name is Brett Bohley. This is my channel, Brett B Real Estate, and I will catch you in the next video.